Hello, hello! It is Watsky Wednesday, and I'm about to leave on Warp Tour. I'm going to post a link right now to the YouTube page and wait a second for some people to join. And I will talk to you guys soon. All right. 0 viewers right now. I'm going to go look up the list, the Indiegogo list of the people to shout out. Oh, you guys are here. Is this thing on? Hey guys, I'm in the Bridge Exchange um, in the Bridge Exchange website right now, just getting the names of the people that donated to the Bridge Exchange who said that one of the perks that they got was that I was going to shout their name out in the hang session. So I want to make sure that I have those names. And the way that I do that, view dashboard, contributions, filter by perk, name thank you, export set of contributions. Feel free to ask a question in the sidebar if you guys have anything that you want to know about. I just got all these up, so that means I'm good. The only problem is that it only says their email addresses, not their actual names, so I'm going to have to shout them out by their email address. All right. My question, so the first question I have here was, can my question be bang me, from Jessica Rabbit? Yeah, I guess that can be your question. I will decline to answer it. I want to, just for the sake of the record, say that I try and make a habit of not having sex with fans. It's not a good idea. So probably not. But not because I don't think that you're beautiful and amazing and awesome, just because I think that sets a pretty poor precedent that I'm trying to not do and try and be responsible and create a good separation between people, but at the same time want to know about you guys and be engaged, but not be a creeper. So that's where I stand. A little further into the hangout, could you do a verse from Whoa Whoa Whoa, says Edgy Scoots. Sorry guys, by the way, for the really boring start to the hangout. I needed to pull those names up. Yeah, maybe I will. I'd be happy to. What was the inspiration for Whoa Whoa Whoa, says Natalie Lotta. I wanted to have a song on the album that was just a verbal flexing song. You know, I think that one of the things that I wanted from this album was I wanted to find a way for All You Can Do to create an album that didn't feel like it was dishonest, that felt like it was stayed true to the roots of what people like from me, you know, and my quirkiness and what makes me different from mainstream rappers, and that people still get those elements of humor and, you know, wordplay and stuff like that that I feel like in the spoken word that sets me apart from what people are doing. But at the same time, how do I find a way to do that, do all those things and not make it a niche album? I think that in some ways what I did with Cardboard Castles was tough for people to digest. And there are actually things about All You Can Do that are musically more progressive than stuff that I had on Cardboard Castles, but I wanted to be able to make a song that, you know, was what Pale Kid Raps Fast was for a viral video, but that had like these elements of my personality and what I can do with wordplay, and had a catchy chorus. And, you know, it's a song for people who feel like they're not getting their due respect from people. I have a chip on my shoulder. I feel like a lot of times people don't take me seriously as a lyricist because of the ways that I've gotten attention, good and bad, and they don't really maybe understand that I spent 6 years doing spoken word in cafeterias trying to grind it out, and that took a lot of effort. And so, you know, Whoa 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 is trying to, it's not anything really more than it's trying to be. It's a silly song about trying to prove people wrong that doubt you. Can you give us the title of your next single? Sure. It's called Ink Don't Bleed. And it's going to be very different from Whoa Whoa Whoa. Have you ever thought of doing an Australian tour? Asks Rico. Absolutely. Not only have I thought of doing an Australian tour, I'm actively trying to get Australia added after the United States dates. And it's proved to be difficult because it's expensive to get to Australia. Until you're a really, really big act, it can be tough if you don't have an agent who's got good connections there. And the good news is I have a promoter who's interested and is trying to help me work it out. And it's not a guarantee that it'll work out, but I am really, really trying, and I hope that it works out. No promises, but not only am I thinking about it, I'm actively trying very hard to make Australia happen, going out of my way to do it. We have 146 people here. Before we ask too many questions, because I don't have a ton of time, I have maybe like 15 minutes to hang out. I'm taking a red eye out tonight for Warped. I can't believe it. I'm leaving so soon. And I'm really excited, but I'm basically going to be on the road for the next like 5 months because I'm doing Warped, and then people in Europe are going to find out really soon that we're doing Europe in September. We're going to start the All You Can Do tour in Europe, and then we're going to come to the United States and do the United States in October and November. So we're going to go straight from the Warped tour to Outside Lands in San Francisco. The album comes out 2 days later. Then we go into rehearsals for All You Can Do tour, and we're on that until the beginning of December. And then, with any luck, if I was able to make Australia happen, I probably shouldn't even be talking like it's going to happen because I don't have offers yet from promoters. But if it does, that's when I would want to do it, which means that I could theoretically be on the road all the way until January 2015, which I'm really stoked for. But it's crazy. I'm leaving my house, and I'm going to put my stuff in storage again. So Watsky is going back to public storage. But the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys, I have purposefully not wanted to make this into like a big thing that I was making some statement about and trying to make it why everyone was paying attention to me. I'll probably be talking about it more publicly as I go along, but I don't think that it should really change the way I'm promoting this album. Is that I think some of you guys know I had another seizure like 6 weeks ago at the gym and lost my driver's license, and I got this choice of going onto these medications that are these ones that I was on similar type of anti-seizure medication when I was younger for 2 years, because I had my last seizures before this one in 7th grade. And I was on Depakote for 2 years, and then I got off it, and then for 14 years I didn't have another seizure until 6 weeks ago. And so I went on these medications, and I really didn't like them, and I really wanted to get off it. The problem with getting off it meant that I had a choice between basically agreeing to lose my driver's license in Los Angeles or having to stay on this mind-altering kind of gnarly medication that doubles as a mood stabilizer and that they use to treat schizophrenic people, and that definitely affects the way that you act in your personality. And I made the choice to go off the medication and just willingly not drive, because I think that being who I am is more important to me than being behind the wheel of a car. So I made that choice, and then the next day after I stopped taking my medication, I had another seizure. This was like a week ago. I'm going to cut my chin. You can't really see it now. I lost some good follicles down there. I woke up, I was alone in my house, and I was just like, I had blood all over my face, and my tongue was all fucked up. I'd been biting it. And now I had to go back on the medication. So I've lost my driver's license, and I am back on 2 of these medications, which is somewhat of a bummer to me, but which is mitigated by the fact that I have all this amazing stuff coming up, and I'm going to be touring for so long, and the most important thing for me is that I'm responsible and I take care of myself, and that I try and do whatever I can to not have another seizure, especially while I'm on the road, and that includes I'm not drinking anymore. I am allowed to smoke weed, however. Epilepsy people can smoke as much fucking weed as they want. But I shouldn't be drinking, and I'm not allowed to drive, and I'm cutting out caffeine. It's just about making lifestyle choices, trying to drink as much water as I can, and take care of myself and get sleep and all that stuff. So it's weird because I have these things going on in my life that aren't ideal, and then they're going on simultaneously with all this amazing shit, and Whoa 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 is going over so great. People seem to love it. I can't wait to play it on the road, and I'm about to be with my friends playing music for 6 months. But, just so you guys, the core 197 people who are here in this hangout session know, life is so funny how it just gives you the good and the bad at the same time, and it just keeps going like that. I'm very thrilled for everything that I have, but I wanted you guys to be aware that that thing was going on in my life as well. But don't cry for me. This is not the way that you should view it when you have a medical problem, that there are people out there who are experiencing worse things, and it's not to say that I'm taking solace in the fact that other people have shittier things going on than me, but the fact is you can't pity yourself, because there are other people. Every other person on this planet has their own struggle that they're going through, and many of them do have problems that are much more intense than mine. And like I said, it's not about one-upsmanship or creating a competition of sick kids, but just to say, like, we're all going through our shit. So if you probably have your own shit you're going through, and I hope that the good outweighs the bad. I know for me it does. All right, let me answer some questions. How was the shoot with the Smexy lady? Was it awkward as fuck? I was actually expecting the shoot with the Smexy lady, whose name is Julia Masaki, who actually went to Emerson with me, to be more awkward, and it ended up being pretty fun. Like, when people ask, like, did you get a boner, man? Like, were you fucking rock hard? No. When you're in a makeout scene, at least this is what it's like for me, and I know people are going to be like, man, like, you're not a dude if you answer like that. It's not sexy, really. Like, you're in front of a bunch of other people under hot lights, and you're trying to make sure that the girl who's, like, half naked doesn't feel like she's being totally taken advantage of. I like to think that for a scene with nudity, we did it somewhat tastefully. Obviously, there is some gratuitous skin showing and stuff, and so that's, you want to be conscientious of that and not be an asshole about it. And no, it wasn't like a sexual experience. I've had actual sexual experiences with women that I'm super attracted to that are more of a turn on than making out with a hot girl in a situation where you're both professionals. So I know that's not the answer that's like really fun to hear, but that's the truth of the matter. Jim Belushi, how'd you do it? My manager Kevin Morrow is friends with him. He was friends with Dan Aykroyd too, and he was a co-founder of the House of Blues franchise and did a lot of stuff for the Blues Brothers. And so he's friends with Belushi and called him up for a favor, and he was willing to do it. He watched a bunch of my videos, and at first he said no, and then when he watched a bunch of the videos, he was like, yeah, pretty high video quality, all right. And he was awesome. It was so cool. Is Bo Burnham going to be on tracks, though? I do want to do a song with Bo, and me and Bo have gone back and forth talking about doing a song together and what the concept would be, and it's just 100% going to come down to what the video concept is, and or not the song concept. So if we get a good concept, I'm sure that he'd be down. He's not on this album. This album's done, but I'm hoping that I can get him on a follow-up project. I've known Bo, to answer the next question, since my Fast Rap video. He's a Redditor, and he reached out to me after that, and we kind of think have a mutual respect for each other. Don't want to put words into his mouth, but yeah, known him for a little while, and love his work. What subjects are you going to be dealing with on the new album? It's funny. I actually have a song that is about prescription medication that I wrote before I had more seizures again, and it's just feeling so much what I'm thinking about right now. It's called Tears to Diamonds, and I wanted to write a balanced song about the fact that pharmaceutical drugs are necessary, but there's so much fucked up shit that goes on. Doctors getting kickbacks from people from the industry for prescribing medication, the overprescription of medication, the side effects that you get, the fact that kids when 20 years ago it would have been considered just a facet of somebody's personality or being considered medical disorders that are being highly medicated. I wanted to write a song about my extremely mixed feelings about the pharmaceutical industry, because I think that there have been a lot of songs that are about how fucked up the pharmaceutical industry is that don't balance it out with the fact that drugs are life-saving for some people. You know, there's cancer patients and people who would be dead now if they didn't have pharmaceuticals to save them and pull them back from the brink. And so I think that it's important, if you're going to write a song about what's fucked up about the pharmaceutical industry, to also balance it with how necessary it is. But at the same time, you know, you had to have the even-handedness to it. So that's one of the songs. You know, it's diverse, like everything, like all the other albums. I deal with the London situation on it. The stage dive, I talk about that, but I tried not to have that like outweigh the album or feel like I was wallowing in it. I wanted to be able to address it, but not feel like, you know, I let that consume the album. The album is kind of a tribute to my mom and dad. So my dad's on the front cover, my mom's on the reverse cover. I wanted to get her on the alternate version, but they wouldn't let me have a clean cover and a explicit cover. It had to be the same. But in a lot of ways, it's a tribute to my parents and the music that they grew up listening to, which is why if you see the deluxe version, it's got my dad and all this kind of psychedelic artwork on it. I'm going to read the names now from the Bridge Exchange, people that donated $5 to get their names read in a Watsky Wednesday. And I'm so sorry that you know, it doesn't actually say their names on the thing. It just says their email addresses. So I'm not going to read the where it's at, like at Gmail or at Yahoo or at Hotmail, because I don't want people to be able to email them, but I'm going to read the tag at the beginning of it. So I want to thank very much from the bottom of my heart for supporting the Bridge Exchange. I want to thank Foheda818, Carrie145, Nicole Pacho, Dennis Anton Thorpe, Marf Warrior, Lunar Gypsy, Maggie Tabor927, Tattooed Emotions, D Brown 78, Benji 18, or Bengay. I'm sorry. Usually, if I'm hosting a poetry slam and I get your name wrong, I say I owe you a stick of gum, but I can't email you a stick of gum yet, except for 3D printing. Maybe I can. Alex T. Bannon, RJ somewhere, RJ Pokeef or Pokeefe, Courtney McCox, 44. I said Cox. Theta Saunders, Leanne Moreno, John Vital, Hillary Davison, D. Fraser, W. Mutag, Tim the Asian. Yeah, Tim, who I'm assuming is Asian. Vincent Lucas Sezki, Matthew J. Falloon, Hunter Dibble, Morgan Bergman. Thank you, Nick Brown. Thank you, D. Navarrete. Thank you, TKL Matina. Thank you, Chris Lanigan. Thank you, Mordred87. Thank you, Joiner Floor. Rapid Shot 11. Appreciate it, E. Maxwell King. Thank you, Jared Wardlaw. I would also like to send a special thank out to Not Really 990. Also to Andrew Momira. To My HD Mail 05. I wish that was more personal. My HD Mail 05. That's a little bland, but I thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Katie Jans 95. Thank you, Maddie Holdstock, and thank you finally to Joseph Watson. All of you guys, even in your $5 contribution. Actually, one of you guys donated $50, Lunar Gypsy, and just asked for the $5 perk. So that was pretty selfless. The Bridge Exchange is happening really soon, and the last thing that I have to do for it is write the sonnets. The 2 people who ordered sonnets, you are the final thing that I haven't completed yet, so I'll try to get to that as soon as I can. The cameraman 34 asks, does the seizure thing make you nervous about your upcoming tours for 6 months? And the answer is no, it doesn't really, because I've always known that I had the possibility to have more of them. I didn't think that it was likely to happen, but when you have 2 of them, you're technically labeled an epileptic, and your threshold is lower than other people, and You know, it could happen at any time, or it could not happen again for the rest of my life. I've only ever had 4 of them, which is a lot less than some people with epilepsy. And it's not like I'm having them uncontrollably every single day. Even when wasn't on medication for 14 years, I didn't have one. So now, it's, as a lot of you have seen, one of the elements of my personality and who I am is that I just fling myself into situations that may or may not be wise, may have some risks involved in them, and it's ended up in some ways panning out and leading to a life that I really love and am proud of, and that I've been able to do amazing things that for a while I never thought was possible. At the same time, it's also led me into some stupid decisions. I've sometimes let my ego rush me out into places that I shouldn't have been, you know, hurting people and myself in the process because I wasn't wise all the time. I don't see this as one of those situations. I think that you can only control what you can control, and what's out of your control, you have to try and let go of it, let go of the stress involved with it. So what I can control is taking care of myself. I can control how much water I drink, how much sleep I get. I can control whether I drink alcohol, whether I'm responsible about the medication stuff. Not driving again, you know, not putting myself in situations where if I have a seizure, I'm going to potentially hurt other people. But after that, you know, it's kind of out of my hands. Like, not performing is not an option for me. This is what I do. And for 10 years of performing very physical stage shows and jumping up and down and doing a lot of cardio, I didn't have a seizure. You know, so I think that not doing it or even being worried about it is pointless, because that fear and that worry is something that's out of my control. So that's the answer. I'm not nervous. And I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to continue to do these tours. If I were to have one on the road, obviously that would change the situation, and that's why I'm going to do everything I can to stay healthy and be responsible. But yeah, I'm not nervous. Thank you for doing what you do, Watsky. My absolute best friend and I separated for more than 30 miles for once in our lifetime. She's in Hawaii and Illinois, synced up your music and sang along and laughed like idiots on Skype. Says Jules Gray. That's awesome. Alistair, I see you on the artwork. That was awesome. I appreciate it. Maybe I will hit you up. I'm going to be here for like 5 more minutes, so if you guys have any pressing questions, feel free to ask. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them, I'm sorry, but I'm going to just rapid fire go through a bunch of them and answer short questions, answer them with short answers. Your love for your parents makes my heart smile. True appreciation. Yes, Paul and Claire, you are the shit. Thank you. I feel so lucky to have loving parents who are proud of me. How long have you known Bo Burnham? I think I answered that question, I guess 4 years or something. Natalie Lada asks, I've been interested in poetry because of you. Who are your poetry role models? Here's some of my top people. Saul Williams, Bo Sia, Reeves, Raphael Casal, Shanaka Hodge, who you guys know, and Dalek Braithwaite. Alistair Norris, oh, I just answered you. If you bring roller skates to Warped, roller blades, not skates, would it be okay if I sing brand new pair of roller skates to you by Melanie Safka? Absolutely. I will be at the Warped Tour signing autographs at every show for anyone who wants to meet me. We just have to figure out the timing of the signing sessions, and I would love to be serenaded by you. Come to Mexico, says Tony Trevino. I would really like to. I'm going to try. Alexa Shipman says, can I kiss your face? This is pressing. Yes. Put your face up to the screen. Let's make out. Oh, yeah. That's so nice. Yes. You got a little of my stubble in your chin. Oh. That was good. Good makeout sesh, Alexa. Really hope you're not under 18, because that was pretty steamy. Are you coming to Mexico? Possibly. I hope so. OZ Graspin, I've seen your work online. It's awesome, dude. Keep it up. Are you doing features, collabs? I don't really do the like pay-to-play collab thing. Not because I don't think your music's great and I wouldn't want to do it, but just because I don't want it to seem like I have a price tag where I'll just do a feature for somebody and I'm just, you know, that's why I don't put ads on my videos. Like, if it happens organically, I'll do a feature for you for no money. I'm not trying to like have that be an element of my side business that I'm making money off of. Music, you do it because that's the music you want to make. So if it happens down the line, I would never rule it out, but I'm not like, oh, yeah, you got $3,000, like I'll do a 16-bar verse for you. So, but your music's awesome. Alexa, I already talked about the kissing stuff. How do you do the choppy effect in your video and still have your lips synced? It was a mouth replacement. So I stayed in the exact same position and then rapped the verse, and then it was digitally superimposed the mouth back onto the GIFed out image by Alan Gwizdowski, the DP, who did an amazing job. I just posted a behind the scenes video on this channel, my second channel. So check that out if you get the chance. So I'm reading everything really fast because I only have like 5 minutes. I have to get to the post office, the box company, before it closes down the street. Go into detail about the glitching effect in Whoa Whoa Whoa. I just did that. Do you know any of the tour dates after Warped yet? Yes, I know all of them. I'm not going to tell you them yet. I'm going to announce. I'm not announcing the U.S. tour dates until after Outside Lands. I'm going to announce the European ones next week because I'm going to Europe first. But it's going to be October, November in the U.S. This isn't a question, but come to Australia, man. Fuck yeah, I want to. Is Bo going to be contributing music-wise for this new album? Nope, but hopefully a subsequent one. Favorite fruit? Ooh, sun-dried tomatoes. Any chance we can send fan mail via email or mailbox? I have a P.O. box that I just closed down, and I have a huge box of stuff that I still haven't gotten to it before I left, but I'm going to sign it during Warped. So I'm going to open that, or if you want to write me, you can. I just won't get it until after Warped Tour. It's 1920 Hillhurst Avenue, box number 113, zip code 90027. I'll say that again. I'll answer 2 more questions and then say it again, so if you want to grab a pen and write it down, you can. Why do no decent hip-hop acts come to Indiana? Well, seeing as I played Indianapolis on the last tour, I'm just assuming that was a diss to me, so fuck you, bro. I don't know if Indianapolis is on the next tour, but we have played there. We played the Old National, so you're tripping, bro. What do you think of all the hardcore acts on Warped, and do you feel out of place? They have a lot of hip-hop bands at Warped, so not really, because there's a bunch of groups that I listen to. I can't say that I really listen to a lot of hardcore music and I know it super well, but I'm pretty open-minded. Like, I think that there's good metal, there's good punk rock, there's good alternative. Not all the bands at Warped are hardcore. There's obviously a lot of hardcore, but there's a lot of like indie rock too and stuff like that. So I don't feel out of place. I think that if I act out of place, I'm going to seem out of place. But if I act like we're just having a good time or we're meant to be there, we'll have a fucking blast. Will you be visiting smaller cities on your next tour? The next tour is going to be a major city tour, and then in the spring maybe we'll do small cities. All right, guys, I'm going to have to head off, but my P.O. box for anyone who wants it is 1920 Hillhurst Avenue, number 113, Los Angeles, California, 90027. If you send me something, I will try and get back to it after Warped Tour because I'm going to be gone until then. I am about to go get on a flight and be gone for 5 months. So thank you guys, everyone, for your support. And I'm going to try and stay engaged. I'm so fucking excited about how Whoa 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 is going over and all of the amazing response I've gotten the last couple days. So I appreciate you all. I will see you soon. Don't cry for me. Cry for yourselves for being too handsome and beautiful for your own fucking good. I'll catch you guys later. Anything I'm missing? Probably. I'll probably forget my toothbrush and my underwear and a warm jacket. That is life. And I'll see you guys later.